Maths problems. See here, I start by taking out equilateral triangles and how to find out area and perimeter of them. I tell how to do. Let's start by taking one. All sides of triangle is 1 units. When all three sides are equal, they are known as equilateral. Now you can find out the perimeter as 3a. Here a is just 1 unit. 3a means 3 times of 1 unit. 3 times of 1 is 3. So it is 3 units. Area is root 3 by 4 a square. That means you're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of this one 1 square. 1 square means 1 times of 1. That remains as root 3 by 4 square units. I start by taking more problems. Here I take next triangle. In this triangle, In this triangle, I going to take this term, this triangle with sides which are equal to, all sides are equal to 2 units. All sides are equal to 2 units. Then find out area and perimeter. Same thing, perimeter and area. Now the side length is 2 units. You're going to get perimeter equal to 3a, that is 3 times of side length, which is 2 units. 3 times of 2 is 6, it is 6 units. Let's find out the area. Now area you can find it out by root 3 by 4 times of side length square. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 2 square. Here 2 times of 2 becomes 4, so it is root 3 by 4 times of 4. 4 1 times you can divide. This area is root 3 square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, you can take this one as all sides going to be equal to 3 units. When all sides are 3 units, here also you need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. Here you can find it out. Side length is 3 units. You're going to get perimeter as 3 times of side length. You can find it out. 3 times of side length as 3 times of 3. 3 times of 3 is 9. So the perimeter is 9 units. Let's take one more triangle. Here area you can write it as equal to root 3 by 4 a square. That means root 3 by 4 times of, you're going to get side length which is square. Side length square means 3 square. 3 times of 3 is 9 units. So it is root 3 by 4 times of 9 units. You cannot divide 4 with 9. 4 2 times is 8. So write 9 in front and root 3 afterwards. 9 root 3 by 4 square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, let's take the next number 4. Here all three sides are equal to 4 units. You need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. You can find out this triangle's perimeter as 3a because all three sides are equal. A means side length 4 units. Here 3 times of 4, 3 times of 4 means 12 units. So the perimeter becomes 12 units. Now the area for equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 times of a square. A is same 4, that is root 3 by 4 times of 4 square. You can write 4 square as 4 times of 4, which becomes 16. That is root 3 by 4 times of 16. 4 1 times, 4 4 times. You can multiply that 4 times of root 3. It becomes 4 root 3 square units. Let's take the final triangle. Here in this triangle, they have given all sides are equal to 5 units. Here also you need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. You can take the A is the side length, which is 5 units. Perimeter is 3A, that is 3 times of side length, 3 times of 5, 3 times of 5 becomes 15. So 15 units is the perimeter. Area becomes root 3 by 4 times of A square. That means you can write it as root 3 by 4 times of side length 5, that is 5 square. 5 square is nothing but 5 times of 5, which is 25. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 25, and you cannot divide 4 with 25, it comes in front. 25 root 3 by 4 square units. I start these problems by taking the squares, and you just need to find out what's the perimeter. Here all sides are equal to 1 units, so the side length is 1 units. You can find out perimeter of square as 4a, that means 4 times of side length 1, which becomes 4. So the perimeter is 4 units. Let's take one more square. In this square, all sides have units, 2 units as length, so the side length is 2 units. Here, find out what's the perimeter. You can do it out. Perimeter means 4a, that is 4 times of side length. They have given us 2 units. 4 times of 2, which becomes 8, so it is 8 units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they have given all sides are equal to 3 units. You need to find out what's the perimeter. Perimeter means 4 times of side length A. Here A is 3 units. So it becomes 4 times of 3, which is 12 units. Now let's take one more square. In this square, all sides of which are equal to 4 units. Now let's find out what's the perimeter. You can find out perimeter as 4 times of side length. That is, here side length is 4 units. 4 times of 4, which becomes 16 units. That's the perimeter of the square. Let's take one more square. Here they have given all sides are equal to 5 units. All sides are 5 units. What's the perimeter? Here side length is 5 units. Now you can write it out. Perimeter as 4 times of 4a, that is 4 times of side length 5. 4 times of 5 is 20, so it becomes 20 units. Let's write it out another problem with this square. I take this one as now I start by the equilateral triangle. Here equilateral triangle, all sides are equal to 6 units. When all sides are 6 units, you need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. Here A is side length is 6 units. You're going to get perimeter as 3a, that means 3 times of 6 units. 3 times of 6 is 18, so perimeter becomes 18 units. And now the area is root 3 by 4 times of a square, and you're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of side length, which is 6 square. 6 times of 6 is 36. You're going to get root 3 by 4 times of 36. 4 1 times, 4 9 times, 9 times of root 3, 9 root 3 square units. Let's take one more triangle. Here in this triangle, they have given all sides are equal to 7 units. You need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. You can find out the perimeter as 3a, that is a is the side length 7 units. You're going to get it as 3 times of 7, which is 21 units. Let's find out the area. Area is root 3 by 4 times of a square. root 3 by 4 times of a square means you're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 7 square. Here 7 times of 7 means it becomes 49. So it is root 3 by 4 times of 49. You cannot divide 4 with 49. So 49 comes front and it becomes 49 root 3 by 4 square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they have given all sides are equal to 8 units. Find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. You're going to get here as area and perimeter. That is, here side length they have given us 8 units. Here perimeter is 3, that is 3 times of side length 8 units. 3 times of 8 which is 24. So the perimeter is 24 units. Now the area is root 3 by 4 a square, that is root 3 by 4 times of the side length which is 8 square. You can write 8 times of 8 as 64. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 64, and this one you can divide as 4 1 times 4 1 times 4 and 4 6 times 24. You're going to get us 16 root 3 square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle they have given that this all sides are equal to 9 units. When all sides are 9 units in this equilateral triangle, you need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter of this triangle. You can find the area and perimeter by taking here side length as 9 units. You're going to get perimeter as 3 times of side length. It is 3 times of 9 which becomes 27 units. Now you can find out the area. Here area becomes root 3 by 4 times of a square which is root 3 by 4 times of 9 square. 9 square you can write it as 9 times of 9 which becomes 81. So the area is root 3 by 4 times of 81. You cannot divide 81 with 4, so it comes in front. 81 root 3 by 4 square units. Now let's take one more triangle. In this triangle they have given that all sides are equal to 10 units. When all sides are 10 units, what's the area and what's the perimeter? You can find out the perimeter as 3a. Here a means the side length which is 10 units. 3a means 3 times of 10 units. 3 times of 10 is 30. So 30 units is the perimeter. Now let's find out the area. Area of equilateral triangle is root 3 by 4 times of a square. That means root 3 by 4 times of 10 square. 10 square is nothing but 10 times of 10. 10 times of 10 is 100. So it becomes root 3 by 4 times of 100. You can divide 100 with 4, that is 4 1 times. 4 2 times is 8. 10 minus 8 2 remains, it becomes 20. 4 5 times is 20. Now if you multiply 25 and root 3, it becomes 25 root 3. Since it is area, it is square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle you can take it as all sides are 11 units. When all sides are 11 units, here what's the area and what's the perimeter? Here side length they have given us 11 units. Now perimeter is 3a, that is 3 times of the side length. Here side length is 11 units. 3 times of 11. 3 times of 11 means 33 units. 33 units is the perimeter. Let's find out what's the area. Area you can find it out by root 3 by 4 times of a square. That is root 3 by 4 times of, that is 11 square. 11 square means you can multiply here 11 times of 11 which becomes 121. So it is root 3 by 4 times of 121. You cannot divide 4 and 121, so multiply numerators. 121 root 3. It comes first, root 3 next, divided by 4. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, you can take this as equal to 12 units. All sides are equal to 12 units. When all sides are 12, you can write it as what's the area and what's the perimeter. What's the area and perimeter? Let's take 1 minute. I start by this one, that is what's the area and perimeter of this triangle. Here you can take the same thing. The area is perimeter is 3 times of the side length. Here side length is 12 units. This one is the side length, which is 12 units. 3 times of 12 means it is 36 units. 36 units is the perimeter. And area, you can write it as equal to root 3 by 4 times of a square. A is the same side length, so it is root 3 by 4 times of 12 square. 12 square can be written as 12 times of 12, which is 144. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 144. Here you can divide it as 4 1 times, 4 3 times 12, and 2 remains, 4 6 times is 24. It becomes 36 times of root 3, 36 root 3. Let's take one more triangle. Here in this triangle, they have given all three sides as 13 units. All sides are 13 units. You need to find out what is the area and what is the perimeter. Here also they have given side length as equal to 13 units. Side length is 13 units means perimeter is 3 times of side length, which is 3 times of 13, which becomes 39 units. And now area, you can write it as root 3 by 4 a square, and you're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 13 square. 13 square means 13 times of 13, 169, and you're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 169. 169 times of root 3 is 169 root 3 by 4 square units. And next you're going to take it as 14 units. That is this triangle, they have given all sides as equal to 14 units, and you're going to get it as what's the perimeter and what's the area. Here you're going to get perimeter as 3 times of side length. Here side length is 14 units, and you're going to get it as 3 times of 14. 3 times of 14 is 42 units. So perimeter is 42 units of this triangle. And let's find out the area. Area is root 3 by 4 times of a square. That means root 3 by 4 times of this 14 square. 14 square means you can write it as 14 times of 14, which is 196. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 196. 4 1 times, 4 4 times is 16, and 4 9 times is 36. You're going to get it as 49 root 3. And let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they have given us this one 15 units. All sides are equal to 15 units. Here also you need to find what's the area and what's the perimeter. You can find it out. Perimeter as 3 times of side length, that is side length is 15 units. All sides are equal to 15. It is 3 times of 15. 3 times of 15 is 45. So 45 units is the perimeter. Now let's find out the area. that is root 3 by 4 times of a square. Root 3 by 4 times of a square means root 3 by 4 times of side length, which is 15. 15 square. 15 times of 15 can be written as 225. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 225. You cannot divide 4 with 225, so multiply these two. 225 root 3 by 4 square units. And let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they have given all sides as 16 units. When all sides are 16 units, you're going to get what's the area and what's the perimeter. You can find out perimeter as 3 times of side length. Here side length is 16 units, so it's going to become 3 times of 16. 3 times of 16 is 48 units. So the perimeter is 48 units. Let's find out the area. Area is root 3 by 4 times of a square. That means you're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of a square means the side length square. 16 square. 16 square you can write it as 16 times of 16. 16 times of 10 is 160 and 16 times of 6 is 96. That is 256. You're going to get it root 3 by 4 times of 256. You can divide 4 with 256. 4 1 times, 4 6 times 24 and 1 remains, it becomes 16. 4 4 times is 16. It becomes 64 times of root 3. 64 root 3 square units. Now you can take another triangle. In this triangle, all sides going to be equal to 17 units, and all sides are 17 units means you need to find out what's the area and what's the perimeter of this triangle. What's the area and perimeter? Here you going to get it as uh, perimeter as 3 times of side length. Here side length is 17 units. You're going to get us 3 times of 17 units. 3 times of 17 is 51 units. 51 units is the perimeter. Now let's find out area. Area is root 3 by 4 times of a square, and root 3 by 4 times of this one 17 square, and 17 times of 17 you can write it as 17 times of 10 170 and 17 times of 7 119 289. This one root 3 by 4 times of 289. You're going to get 289 times of root 3, 289 root 3 by 4 square units. And you're going to, let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, you're going to get it as all sides are 18 units. All sides are 18 units means find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. Here perimeter is 3 times of A, that is A is 18 units, and 3 times of A means 3 times of 18 units. 3 times of 18 is 54, so perimeter is 54 units. Area of this triangle is root 3 by 4 times of A square, that is root 3 by 4 times of this 18 square. 18 square means you can write it as 18 times of 18. 18 times of 10 is 180. 18 times of 8 is 144. And 180 plus 144, 324. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 324. You can divide this to 4 1 times. 4 8 times 32 and 1 times 4. 81 root 3 square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, you can write it as all sides are equal to 19 units. When all sides are 19 units, what's the area and what's the perimeter? You're going to get it as perimeter as 3 times of side length. Here side length is 19 units. You go to get it as 3 times of 19 units. 3 times of 19 is 51. So it is 51 units. Let's find out the area. Area is root 3 by 4 times of a square. That means root 3 by 4 times of, here a is 19, 19 square. 19 times of 19, which is 380, 361. 361 means you're going to get root 3 by 4 times of 361. 361 times of root 3, 361 root 3 by 4 square units. Here let's take one more triangle. Here all sides are equal to 20 units. When all sides are equal to 20 units, here find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. Here you can, they have given side length as 20 units. Perimeter is 3 times of side length. That is 3 times of 20 units become 60 units. 60 units is the perimeter. Let's find out the area of this triangle, that is 20 units triangle. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of this 20 square. 20 square means 20 times of 20, which becomes 400. That is root 3 by 4 times of 400. 4 1 times, 4 1 times is 4. 2 zeros comes with it. 100 root 3 square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they have given all sides are equal to 21 units. If all sides are equal to 21 units, you're going to get perimeter as 3a, that is a is 21 units. Here you're going to get 3 times of 21. 3 times of 21 is 63. 63 units. Now you can get area equal to root 3 by 4 times of a square. That is root 3 by 4 times of a is 21 square, and 21 times of 21, you're going to get it as this as 21 times of 20 is 420, and 21 times of 1 is 21, 441. So it is root 3 by 4 times of 441. It becomes 441 root 3 by 4 square units. Let's take one more problems. Here I start by taking a triangle. This triangle is 22 units. This triangle 22 units as the side length, and you can take here this triangle with 22 units. All sides are 22 units. You're going to get what's the area and what's the perimeter of this triangle. Side length is 22 units. You can write it as equal to perimeter as 3 times of side length, that is 3 times of 22 units, which become 66 units. Find out the area. Area is root 3 by 4 times of a square. That is root 3 by 4 times of a is 22 square. 22 square means 22 times of 22. 22 times of 20 is 440, and 22 times of 2 is 44. 484. This complete thing is 484. You're going to get root 3 by 4 times of 484. 4 1 times, 4 1 times 4, 4 2 times 8, and 4 1 times 4. 121 root 3 square units. And you're going to get another triangle. In this triangle, they have given all sides as 23 units. All sides are 23 units. What's the area and what's the perimeter? You can find out perimeter as 3 times of side length. Here side length A is 23 units. You're going to get it as 3 times of 23 units. 3 times of 23 is 69 units. So the side length is 69 units is the perimeter. And now you can find out the area. Area is equal to root 3 by 4 times of a square. That is root 3 by 4 times of a is 23 units, 23 square. 23 square means 23 times of 23. 23 times of 20 is 460 and 23 times of 3 is 69. 460 plus 69, you're going to get it as 529. 529, and so you're going to get root 3 by 4 times of 529. You cannot divide 4 with 529, so multiply those two. 529 root 3 by 4 square units. Let's take one more triangle. In this triangle, they have given all sides are equal to 24 units. When all sides are equal to 24 units, find out what's the area and what's the perimeter. You can find it out. Perimeter is 3 times the side length. Side length is 24 units. So here 3 times of 24 units. 3 times of 24 is 72. So 72 units is the perimeter of this triangle, and area of this triangle becomes root 3 by 4 a square. This one means root 3 by 4 times of 24 square. 24 square, you can write it as 24 times of 24. 24 times of 20 is 480, and 24 times of 4 is 96. So it is 576. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 576. You can divide 4 with 576. 4 1 times, 4 1 times 4 1 remains. 4 4 times 16, again 1 remains. 4 4 times is 16. 144 times of root 3, that is 144 root 3 square units. And let's take the final triangle. In this final triangle, you're going to get it as all sides they have given us 25 units. When all sides are 25 units, what's the area and what's the perimeter? Area and perimeter, what's both of them? Here side length is 25 units. Perimeter is equal to 3 times of side length, which is 3 times of 25 units. 3 times of 25 is 75 units. You're going to get 75 units as the perimeter, and the area of this triangle is root 3 by 4 times of a square. So you're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 25 square. 25 times of 25 means it is 625. You're going to get it as root 3 by 4 times of 625. You cannot divide 4 with 625, so it comes front. 625 root 3 by 4 square units. That's the area of this triangle. I'm going to tell more problems like this in next live videos. Bye.